Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Bodega Wrestling Podcast. It is I, your co-host, the quintessential Puerto Rican Muffin, and today I finally got him straight from the Carolinas. He is here, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Bob Costas, aka Michael Larkin, is here to grace us with his beautiful voice. Mr. Larkin, how are you?
I'm good, Jorge. It feels good to be doing this together again on the Bodega Wrestling Podcast. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, dude.
Like, where have you been? I mean, I thought one of the hurricanes got you there for a while.
Well, we had the hurricane come through. Luckily, all is good on my end. Nothing in these damn hurricanes. It's hurricane season, Jorge. But I'm good. And just doing my norm LFC stuff, podcasts and stuff, the whole nine.
Well, that's good. So you're still doing the LFC and your other stuff there.
Yeah, man. So I'm set, man. I'm good. I'm good. I'm chilling. You can't keep me down.
Oh, you can keep it. So what is today's hip hop lines if you have one for our listeners?
All I could say about this is, it's all good. It's all right. Fuck all day. Fuck all night.
Oh shit. And with that said, we're on and going. So Mr. Bob Costas, aka Michael Larkin. First question I want to ask you is this: are you a New Japan Wrestling fan?
I am. I like the New Japan promotion. I love it.
Now, do you think in the last year since the new president took over, do you think they have been making any type of money?
I think Harold Meiji, I believe is his name. Harold, the new president.
Or something like that, yes.
Meiji, yeah. Harold has been putting a lot of work in for all these shows that you've seen in California, going over to the UK. I mean, and obviously the MSG show. So, I mean, there's a lot of work that's been going into New Japan, and I think all of it's been paying off.
Yeah, so I got some little tidbit, the reason why I did that. So let's go into the segue here. That's why I kind of got you into this. So cool. He took over in May, supposedly, or around May or June. And since August 1st, 2018 till July 31st, 2019, they have been making a lot of money. And basically, they are in the red, the green, whatever is good to have the money. Basically, the total paid attendance since for the whole year has been $25 million they brought in. They average a total of 436,000 fans, averaging tickets of 57.33. The merchandise, meaning all the T-shirts, everything that they've been sold in a year, they've made $15 million just on inventory alone on merchandise. And the media content, being the New Japan subscription, they have over 100,000 subscribers for a total of $10 million in just one calendar year since that guy's been there, man. And they're doing less shows, less live events, because they're doing it less shows in bigger venues, which is 12.8% rise from last year. And for 6 years they've been rising up every single year. This year they hit 12.8% with less venues, just bigger venues. So what do you think about that, Mr. Larkin?
I think with who they've been bringing in, like the Moxleys, like Ken does, and just their overall presentation, I think they've been knocking it out from the G1 to their UK shows now. I think that's awesome. I think Harold's doing his job. Like I said, really just the product is very good. You see a lot of great wrestling. You see a lot of great people that are invested and interested in it, and tells with those numbers. So I think that's great. I think that's cool. I mean, I remember watching the interview that they did with him, with Harold on the New Japan YouTube channel. You could tell like, he was very invested. He wanted to make New Japan big and wanted to make New Japan a lot of money, and he's doing so.
Right. Oh, and talking about making money and making stars, we were making fun a couple of months ago when they were coming to MSG with the Ring of Honor and New Japan Wrestling, and they had Jay White as the champion, and he lost the belt to Okada. Well, now as of last night or tomorrow or yesterday, whatever time frame it is over there, he's now the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion as he's defeated Naito from the Los Ingobernables de Japón. Los Ingobernables de Japón, yes.
So,
You know,
Los Ingobernables de Japón, yes. So, 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 Los In It's been a great feud with Jay White and Naito. I mean, those have been fresh matchups. We have seen Jay try to go for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship about 2 years ago against Tanahashi. So Jay White is now a former IWGP champ. Now is the Intercontinental champ. It's going to be a hell of a run. I like to see more matches with him and Naito. I think that's cool. You know, Bullet Club, Bullet Club has got the Intercontinental Championship.
I was just going to say that and shout out to Heel Team 6 Robert Bullet Club.
Bullet Club.
And also, the one thing that I loved about this past show where the title change happened, Thunder Jushin Liger was said that he was going to retire, and he meant that he was going to retire. But in this match against Suzuki, of the little Suzuki Gun, we had a little surprise there where he actually removed his mask and his shirt to reveal this darker Buddha ninja warrior something with a spider like tattooed in his chest.
Yeah, he's Kashin Liger, Jorge.
Kashin Liger. So he looked a little bit like Prince Devitt Jr., how he used to do with the spider in the front. And I'll tell you something, I popped like a little 12-year-old girl when he pulled out. I was like, oh my god, what the hell's going on? Jushin took his mask off. And then when he tried to assassinate Suzuki there with that spike, and that spike went right to the table, I was like, oh my god, somebody called the cops. He's about to kill Suzuki. What's going on here? He's missing everybody in the ring. Like, what happened? Like,
so I look
5
at it
in
like
the morning, I'm freaking out.
I look at it like this. So the word Kashin, for those that don't know, Kashin means it's like a soul eater. That's pretty much what it is. He's like the soul eater. He's trying to take Suzuki's soul. He's stabbing him. First of all, you got two veterans here, man. Jushin Thunder Liger, Minoru Suzuki. I think it's going to take us into Wrestle Kingdom. These two have been going at it for months and months and months. So, yeah, and that's just a feud, man. That's just two legends going at it. I dig it. You got Suzuki Goon. You got Jushin Thunder Liger. Now it's Kashin Liger, this darker, more Jushin Thunder Liger. I liked it. I thought it was very good.
Now, you when you said Soul Eater, in my head it just popped to this anime I used to watch years ago, and I think it was something with Soul Eaters for the something society.
Like the manga society or something like that.
Yeah, but they had big swords with the half of the mask, like skeleton mask broken off, and I can't remember the name of the anime. But when you said Soul Eater, that's what it just like brought me to that name, and I'm pretty sure anybody who's listening to the show will know exactly what show it is, so they could tell me later, and I'll probably remember pop up. Oh, I remember now. But yeah, New Japan Wrestling is doing their thing, and I know, and I saw that they're coming back to the States again. I think they're doing like a upstate coming up, and maybe some West Side again during less in the year, or at the end of the year, I believe.
Yeah, it's towards the end. They're going to be doing more West Coast states. I think they're coming upstate New York. I mean, they're traveling, man. It's good. It's really, really good. And I always say to people, if you've not checked out New Japan, check out New Japan. It's good. It's just a lot of great wrestling.
Yeah, check out New Japan, guys, because it's fun. It's a lot of good stuff from the Young Lions. The factions that really stay together for years, not this 3-month faction from Uncle Vince. He gives you, and then he breaks it up after 3 months. Yeah, they got factions going on years. So, yeah, I mean, like Mr. Larkin said, man, if you never watched New Japan, please give it a chance. And you can watch New Japan every Fridays on Access. Oh, I'm sorry, every Saturday nights on Access TV. So
yeah, there's a cheap plug. It comes on right after WoW.
Right after WoW. Wow, wonderful. No, what is it? Wow.
Wow, Women of Wrestling.
Yeah, I was going to say wonderful, beautiful. But
dude, your girls are on here, man. Look at who they got. They also got, we'll get the Impact this week, but they got a lot of Impact talent on there. They got Tessa Blanchard, Alicia Edwards is on there now, Diamante, who is now Adrenaline, Kiera Hogan. A lot of the Impact girls are on there. Havoc.
And who's the new girl that I love that just got in that you showed me?
Oh my goodness, Callie Young, baby.
Bye. She's there now.
Yeah, she's now the California babe.
Yes.
California baby. And
she looks like a California babe, so that will be perfect for her.
Yep.
So a cheap plug for I forgot her name already.
What are you talking about? Oh, Kelly Young?
Yeah, Kelly Young. I forgot her name. Cheap plug for Kelly Young. And don't forget, if you're listening, for Kelly Young, we do have an interview from last year. You go right to the Bodega Wrestling Podcast channel on YouTube, listen to the interview. It was like 25 minutes long because she was about to go into a match before she did the interview. So if you haven't, listen up, get familiarized with her because she's really good.
But, she is, and also the pickles, Jorge. The pickles.
Oh, she loves pickles with mustard. I don't know where that came from. You cannot make this up, folks. But yeah, she loves pickles with mustard and yuck. Yuck for mustard and yuck for pickles.
Well, yeah, support Kelly Young. A lot of people on there now. Ruby Reyes, who was on Impact against Jordan Grace, is on there now. You know who else is on there, man? Nevaeh, who is Jay Chris's wife. She's teaming with Havoc like she is on the Indies. She's a hazard. She's hazard in WoW.
Okay, look at that. They should start bringing, hopefully, with this partnership.
That's what I'm thinking. Why are you not partnering with WoW?
Bringing this, now they just finished, taping the second season or the second half of the second season. So who knows, for 2020, they might be, jumping in, for that. So who knows?
Yeah. What's interesting is also Thunder Rosa is no longer Thunder Rosa. Not Thunder Rosa. I'm sorry. Cobra Moon is no longer Cobra Moon. She's now Serpentine.
Oh God, another snake.
Yep.
She's a cold-hearted snake. Look into her eyes. Yep. She's been telling lies. Oh Lord. But anywho, let's move on to the next topic here. MLW. MLW had War Chamber, and they gave the show. Now they're doing the show on YouTube. If you can't get Being Sports, you can watch the show on YouTube every Mondays or every Tuesdays, I believe. And my goodness, they had the Bonerics teaming up with Loki and Dirty Tom Lawler. I think his name is Filthy. I would just call him Dirty.
Yeah, Filthy Tom Lawler. Yeah,
he looks dirty as hell against the Cobra unit. Oh shit, I said Cobra unit, and it's the Contra unit.
The Contra unit.
Yeah, like the game Contra. Yeah. And I'll tell you something. MLW was smart to do this in Dallas, Texas, the home of the Cotton Bowl, the home of WCCW days back when
Sportatorium, baby.
Yeah, the home of the Von Erichs back in the days with the Fabulous Freebirds. I mean, that is a feud that will go down from legacy to the end of times. And they went to Dallas, Texas, and did this match. And folks, let me tell you, if anybody saw that main event, the Von Erichs, that people were there to see the Von Erichs. There is no question about that. The older ladies were there to see Kevin. The younger teeny boppers and in their late teens, early 20s were there for the Von Erich brothers.
Because, they were there for Marshall and Ross.
Yeah, whenever those guys came in, that place looked like the 80s with those girls. And when Kevin Von Erich jumped up and got that Contra unit guy in the claw, that whole place exploded. That is how you build around people and you bring them to their own state, knowing that these guys are going to bring you the fans. They said, and I read, that before the show even started, they had lines that the seats were empty because people were still in the lines buying merchandise. And before the first intermission, the Von Erich stuff was gone. So whatever much they brought in, it was completely gone. So, dude, Texas is Von Erich country. That will never change. And they proved that night on the War Chamber match. And then we found out that La Parca or LA Park will be challenging Jacob Fatu on November 5th, the first pay-per-view for only $19.99 Fight TV. Now that's a price that I could get behind on.
Me too.
Because $20, I could do that. I will not have to steal. I will not have to borrow this feed. I meant to say.
Yes, borrow.
I don't have to borrow or watch it by unnecessary means. 1995 is a price that I could get behind, which brings me to another point. How can they do that? And they just been out for a year, and you have all these other companies, $40, $45. I mean, can you please explain that to me?
I don't know. I think MLW with them, I think they have a good plan. They don't want to make the mistakes like they did. I mean, they're just coming back. I mean, you had Court Bauer, who was the founder, Court Bauer. Now we got Jared St. Laurent, who was the COO. I mean, they have a plan. He's trying not to mess up what he had before. And now look what they've done. They've only been around for a couple
1 year.
like,
1 year.
Yeah, 1 year.
Yeah,
and it's already $20, man. That's good.
They just hit the 1 year mark, couple of months. I want to say like maybe 2 months ago, and they're about to hit the first pay-per-view. And if you notice, if you watch those shows, I don't know if you get Being Sports or not, but if you watch if you watch it on YouTube, every time they go to a new city, it's a bigger venue. Like I saw them in Milwaukee, and that venue was huge for their first time being there, and that place was packed.
They know how to market it. They have the stars, they have the talents. I mean, and they see that they're on the rise, and I think they've been doing well with what they have. Like you mentioned, man, $20. It's their first pay-per-view. They're back for only a year. I mean, there's a lot of people that want to wrestle there. There's a lot of up-and-comers, like we see with Ross and Marshall. We see a lot of familiar faces there. I mean, it's just good. It's just really good. That's another one, like we mentioned with New Japan. If nobody's checked out MLW, please check out MLW.
And they have a lot, and now they have the partnership with Crush Lucha, and they're actually having a live show. I want to say the first or second week in October that they're going to be doing there from Crush Lucha, and they have a lot of Mexican wrestlers in their roster from MLW that they're actually tapping to the younger Mexican wrestlers and bringing them up here. On top with a little seasoning, with L.A. Park and then his son, or his two sons now, and they brought in Dr. Wagner and his son.
Yeah.
So, and that was a pretty good match. I mean, these guys are 50 plus, and these guys are doing planchas and dives from everywhere. I'm like, good Lord, these guys are going to break something pretty soon.
Yeah, it's the same when I watch Liger do all these dives and all these people that are in their 50s, and it's like they're in such great shape. It's like, god dang, man.
Dude, I'll be 47. If I try to do a dive like that, I'm not getting up. And if I'm getting up, it's because they're dragging me up to the hospital. So, yeah. But in that case there, yeah. I mean, if you guys don't watch MLW, please watch it, Being Sports, or follow them on YouTube. They have the MLW channel. It's 1 hour. That place is always packed, man. They're like Mr. Larkin said, they know what they're doing. They're taking their sweet time because they filmed once before, back in the early 2000s, I believe. They were doing some stuff with Dusty Rhodes and the Extreme Four Horsemen, Barry Windham. And it lasted, 4 years before they decided to close it. And they've been back for a whole year. And this 1 year, they've been introducing a lot of new groups. The Dynasty, man. The Dynasty is one group that I love.
That's the thing too. You know what it is for me, because I appreciate the lineage and the families. Like Teddy Hart has his rep, but Teddy Hart can still go, and he's fucking awesome.
Oh, Teddy Hart, yeah, he's 35 now, I believe.
Yeah, he's in like his mid-30s. He's gonna be 40 in a couple years.
Yeah, so he's doing his thing there with the Hart Foundation, which I thought at first they were called the Dynasty, but it's actually the other guys called the Dynasty.
Yeah, that was Tyson Kidd and David Hart Smith Jr.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool about that. The rule breakers are the ones with the Dynasty name.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Brian Pillman Jr. too. The Pillman name also is in there too.
The Harts and the Pillmans, man. Come on now, can't shoot that is the Hart, but the wrong guys have the name.
Yep. So, exactly. Yeah. Well, David Hart Smith kind of works because he's British Bulldog and he was Bret Hart's brother-in-law, so it all kind of ties in. Yeah.
Well, no, but I was saying the heel group, which is Hammerstone and MJF and the other kid, they're called a Dynasty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they got the name. That's what I first. I thought the Dynasty was the Hart Foundation and it's the other guys.
Oh, yeah, MJF's crew. That's right. Yeah, who else is in that crew with MJF? I know it's MJF, Alex Hammerstone. Who's the other guy?
I don't know, but the dude, them three dudes, those three guys are good-looking guys, handsome. They dress the part. They dress in suits, and I'm going like that. This is a heel group that are obnoxious as hell, but they look like a young version of Ric Flair. But all of them are Ric Flair.
Well, what's interesting is the other guy I just looked up, Richard Holiday.
Yes, he's the Ric Flair of the group, and he's not even the leader of the group.
Dude, isn't what's her face with them too? Isn't Aria Blake with them?
Yes, he's supposed to be the girlfriend of MJF.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Davey Boy Smith's sister is supposed to be dating Hammerstone. Storyline wise, I don't know if it's true in real life, but in the show, they're dating each other. So that's kind of interesting there to see that. But we'll move on. We're 1 week away from AEW. What, Dynamite?
Yes, TNT Dynamite.
TNT Dynamite, which looks a little bit too much like TNT Nitro, or I don't know. Yeah, I'm like, interesting. But we're 1 week away from starting the big wars again to end the year, with AEW, and we're mentioning this not because of the show. We're mentioning AEW because of what they've been saying outside of the show. And I'll let Mr. Bob Costas here bring us up to speed of what Kenny Omega had to say and what the Young Bucks had to say this week. Mr. Costas.
Oh boy.
Can you please enlighten us on the stupidity, which I love these guys, but I think is more of let's just talk some nonsense, for social media. I don't know.
I look at it like you have the Young Bucks. We're talking about Impact is dying. And, well, you actually brought me up to that because I didn't hear the Young Bucks one. I knew the Kenny Omega one. Just let's do the Young Bucks first. What was it? They were saying that Impact is dying, or what were you saying?
They're still alive, and they thought they were dead already.
Oh, God. All right. Well, that also goes to their experience when they were there in what, like 2010, 11? Okay. So...
And let's be honest. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Let's be honest. Impact did not use them as they should have been used.
True.
So I understand why they're throwing digs at them, and it was their first contract. And then when they actually got to see the contract, like by the second year, they were kind of getting a little robbed here and there. But that's just hearsay.
Yeah, and they had a problem with Vince Russo and the whole nine in there.
Yeah.
But they did that. That's what was said. Now, Kenny Omega was the one that said the NXT guys, if they were on his show, they would be the curtain jerkers, which I'm just like, okay. Because I watched NXT on USA, dude.
How was that, please? Let us know.
It was good. Like, they brought in, like, they started off hot. There was a squash match in there with Cameron Grimes, the former Trevor Lee, beating Sean Maluta, who was the cousin of the Usos and Roman Reigns. They started off with the big fatal four-way where Candice LeRae beat Io Shirai, Bianca Belair, and Mia Yim to become the number one contender for Shayna Baszler's NXT Women's Championship, which we will see on October, when AEW goes to, October 2nd, right?
2nd, yes.
Yeah, so they're going to be competing with women's championship matches. On one hand, in NXT, you got Shayna and Candice LeRae, and on USA with not USA, TNT, excuse me, with AEW, you got Riho and Nyla Rose for the inaugural.
Yes.
So there's that. Roderick Strong and Velveteen Dream was very good. That was a great main event for the first hour. Roderick Strong won the North American title. Then you got to the network where Pete Dunne was just beating one of the guys from Evolve. You got to see Walter from NXT UK come in, and him and Kushida had a nice little stare down.
Yes.
It was good, man. I mean, you got to see a lot of great talents, and they killed it in the end with Matt Riddle and Killian Dane just having a hell of a brawl. So it was good, and they got 1.1K viewership.
1.1 million or 1K?
Oh, I'm sorry, not K. My bad. 1.1 million.
Okay, because 1.1K, that's like Pursuit Impact. That's Pursuit Impact show.
Yeah, my bad. 1.1 million on USA.
Whew. I'll be scared there for a minute. That's Impact time on Pursuit channel.
Yes, exactly. But no, man, it was good. Like I said, they're going to have some competition against them. I mean, what's the matches they've announced so far for this debut? I think it's Cody against Sammy Guevara, and we're going to see Jericho and two mystery partners against Kenny Omega and the Bucks.
Okay. Yeah, and then you said the women's title. And I think maybe also like some tag team matches for the
tag tournament. Yeah.
Tournament, okay. Which, by the way, PMP is not there.
Yes.
Or the Boricuas or LAX, whoever they go by from now till then. which I'm thinking is going to be PMP. You know, proud and powerful.
I like that. I think that's
I like it too.
name.
I like the Boricuas better, but los Boricuas, los Puertorriqueños.
Yeah, but Jorge, they're not Savio Vega.
I know. I know, unfortunately, but they're better version now.
Yes.
Now, what do you make of those guys taking shots at the competition?
Well, I think it's just exactly what you said there. They want competition. They're going to fire the shot because, that's what they do. I'll be honest with you. Kenny Omega's last couple matches weren't really that good on AEW's pay-per-views. The Jericho match was the Pac match was and now for Full Gear, which is their next pay-per-view in November, we're finally going to get the match that we were supposed to get at All Out with him and Jon Moxley.
Okay.
And the main event, you know what the main event is for Full Gear?
I don't.
Chris Jericho is going to defend the AEW Championship against Cody.
Oh God, yeah, that's right. Yeah, the win and losses match.
Yes, the win and losses matter, Jorge.
What matters. Yeah. So the show is called Full Gear.
AEW Full Gear.
For being AEW All In and then AEW All Out, I thought they would have called it AEW In Between. All In, All Out, In Between. I'm just saying that's what I was thinking it was going to be.
So that will be on pay-per-view November 9th, live from the Royal Farms Arena in Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh, okay.
And then guess what comes after that? We go to January for the Chris Jericho's Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea, partnering with AEW.
Well, it's going to be in January next year already, that early?
Yeah, for his 2020 cruise, yep.
Yeah, because usually it wasn't like later towards the end of the year.
Yeah, it usually is, but it's a second wave, January 20th to the 24th, in Miami, Florida to the Bahamas, or at the Norwegian Pearl.
That's all right, I'll stay home. It's too cold outside to go and take a boat.
Yep, exactly.
I'll have to drive from here down there, I'll be cold, I ain't going.
Nope, exactly. So that's right after All Gear is the Jericho Cruise once more.
All right, so let's move on to the next topic, and we have Ring of Honor, and you brought something that I didn't know about. If you could fill us in, something you were mentioning about Shane Taylor.
Yes, Shane Taylor, the Ring of Honor former television champion, I believe. It's so bad that you have to kind of catch up. I'm like, I don't even remember if he's the ROH television champ. But then I found out, okay, he still is. So Shane Taylor has been frustrated with his position in Ring of Honor, and now it appears that this time that the promotion is over. According to a post on Ring of Honor's website, they have reached an agreement to buy out his contract, saying that Ring of Honor Wrestling and Shane Taylor have agreed to terms on a buyout of his contract effective immediately.
Oh, wow.
So ROH is currently in negotiations with Taylor for him to make his advertised defense of the ROH World Television title at the Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view on September 27th in a triple threat match against Flip Gordon and Tracy Williams. It's unclear if this is a storyline or legitimate, but Taylor's match at Death Before Dishonor was announced as pending on Friday. He's in recent weeks, Jorge, I did see this a lot. He's been also publicly venting frustration about not being promoted on events and said ROH was dreading the day he won the World Television Championship.
Oh, wow. Well,
so there's a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, okay. And you're right, because I thought when you mentioned that TV champion, I'm thinking, didn't he lose the belt? But you're right, he never lost the belt. He actually still had the belt.
That's the thing. And here's the thing. I like Shane Taylor. Now, for those that don't know with Ring of Honor, Shane Taylor used to team with Keith Lee, who is now in NXT. They were a great tag team. They had a lot of great matches with War Machine, who are now the Viking Raiders on the WWE main roster. But, he's a big guy. He's athletic. He can work. But, this is what's been going on with him.
So do you think if he does get buyout, you think he'll go down to Uncle Vince over there at NXT?
Here's the thing. If he goes to AEW, NXT, I would put him back with Keith Lee.
That's what I was thinking, too.
Well, dude, they're not doing anything with Keith Lee on that show. The only thing that they've been doing is he's been having a couple matches with Dominic Dijakovic, who was the former Donovan Dijak. So I could definitely see him going with being partnered with Keith Lee. If he goes to AEW, good for him too. He could be another big guy that they have there, so that's cool. But yeah, I most likely see him going to NXT, and they'll put him and Keith Lee together.
Wow, so which means either Tracy Williams or Gordon will walk away with a belt, basically. Then
pretty much is what they're saying.
Well, thank you for spoiling that match for us, folks.
Whatever, man. Like, this crap has been going on. Here's the thing.
I'm saying, not saying that you. I'm saying them because they put it on the website that they're going to part ways. So, which means if he does wrestle, he's going to lose the belt, or he's going to get stripped and have Gordon and Williams wrestle, and whoever wins becomes the new TV champion.
Or this is the biggest effing swerve in the history of Ring of Honor.
But why would they say that in their own site if it's not true that they parted ways with him?
That's true. So, exactly. Who knows? But here's the thing. Knowing what Joe Koff does, I don't think Joe Koff would do that.
Okay.
Because one? Joe Koff, yeah.
Well, no, which one? You don't think he will do which one?
I don't think he would like swerve people. He doesn't seem like the guy. He's like most like very straight and narrow. If there's something going on, he'll talk about it.
Now, if Jim Cornette was still there, he would be doing the swerve. Probably, right? Yeah, I mean, now, do you think Ring of Honor has been losing steam? Because I've been seeing a lot of steam coming out of that place lately.
I think since they lost a lot of their New Japan people that they work with, since they lost a lot of people going to AEW, there is some good stuff too, and I'm just going to say it because Chef and I love her. Kelly Klein and Angelina Love for the Women of Honor title. There's some good stuff still there, but yeah, they've lost people, but still, I mean, here's the thing. I watch things, it's like Impact. I've been watching Ring of Honor since 2005 when Loki and Homicide were the Rottweilers, and Ricky Reyes was up in there. Yes. When Homicide was feuding with Cole Cabana, Loki was feuding with Jay Lethal. So I've seen a lot of the ups and downs of this company. So, I mean, it's just, I think Ring of Honor will be fine. There's a lot of people that want to work there for Women of Honor, for people just to come in. So, I mean, they got Joe Hendry now, which I know your boy, Joe Hendry, Jorge.
Please.
And Session Martina from the UK is now in Women of Honor.
Who, yes, the Moth Lady, right?
The Moth Lady, yes.
Yeah, what's her name?
Session Moth Martina.
Yeah. What kind of stupid name is that?
I don't know, man. That's the UK. She did a lot of work for ICW and Progress.
Session Moth Martina. Session. Yeah. Like, what? Girl, just call yourself Moth. Or Moth Lady or something. Her and Moth, the Moth Martina should be tagging together.
Oh, Marty the Moth Martina.
Yeah, and her. They should be a tag team. They call them the Moths.
The Moths.
The Moths. I don't know. And they could be weaving each other and then turn into a big butterfly.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing with her. Like we mentioned, because I know Chef is big into it. And, we bug you about it. But, yeah, she's a former, for those who don't know, Session Moth Martina is a former ICW Women's Champion now. They got her for Ring of Honor. So they're getting a lot of the UK people in there.
No, just to be honest, I do give Chef a lot of headaches for anything. But I do like her because I've seen her wrestle at Stardom.
Yep.
Before when she did a couple of times, and she does her thing. She ain't no slouch.
Mm-hmm.
She does her thing. So for some reason I just kind of see them, like you said, when New Japan kind of started like taking away their guys, and then you saw Lifeblood with the Juicer Robinson, and you haven't seen them do that ever since. Like, I think he was really not happy with how things were being handled in the locker room, and he refused to go back to ROH. So now they have Lifeblood without him there. Now you haven't seen Stardom since they had the one chick that I love, and I forgot her, Iwatani.
Mayu Iwatani. Yep.
Yeah, wrestled since that time, and then you were doing a with NWA, and you were having a match between Magnus, Aldis, and against Skrull, and all of a sudden they just pull the NWA out of it, and then they're gonna have the show in Toronto without those guys. And as we saw, if anybody saw it by any means, like myself, unnecessary means, that place was empty. I mean, that place was deserted. People were falling asleep in there.
You know what it is too? Like, I saw that venue too, and I'm like, geez. But yeah, like you were mentioning, talking about like Mayu Iwatani. Like the last time I think I saw Mayu Iwatani, it was like, all right. So as we all know, Sumi Sakai was the inaugural Women of Honor champ. Then she lost it to Kelly Klein. Then Kelly Klein lost it to Mayu Iwatani. Then Kelly Klein won it back, and ever since then, it's just been the Kelly Klein show.
Let me ask you. I'm gonna throw you a question here for 10 points. Who's the first lady wrestler in Ring of Honor?
Oh God, that's got to be like Sarah Del Rey or Daisy Hayes or one of them.
Nope.
Or Alice in Danger.
Nope.
Rain.
Nope.
All right, I got to think of girls who have been there.
Okay, so now 5 points because you already lost like 5 in the first 5 guesses.
All right, how about Lacey?
You already mentioned the name earlier.
I did?
Yeah. The first match they had at Ring of Honor women's wrestler. It was a female versus a female. And you mentioned her name just not even 2 minutes ago.
Just like 2 minutes ago I mentioned her name.
Yep.
Oh my God.
The first Ring of Honor women's champion.
Oh, Sumi Sakai.
She was the first female to have their first match on TV on Ring of Honor.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And 15 years later, she was the first woman that won the Ring of Honor championship.
Oh,
Talking about paying your dues, doing favors, and here we're gonna throw you a bone. Because remember, at first they wanted Kelly Klein to be the inaugural champion.
Yep.
And they went away from it and they gave it to Sumi Sakai. And people were wondering, like, how the hell this happened? Why? And that was the reason why. She was the first female they had. On the first match, it was her and get somebody else I can't remember, 15 years ago or 16, whatever how long Ring of Honor's been out for.
Yeah, Ring of Honor's been around since like 2002, man.
Yeah, so like a couple of months later, Impact came out. So yeah, so Sumi Sakai was the first person, and then she was the first champion. So we stumped Bob Costas.
It happens, man. Even the greats get so.
Yeah, man. But yeah. So I don't know what's gonna Ring of Honor. I know they're having a lot of issues, with the owner. The broadcasting Sinclair. We just got done with the whole TV deal for the Fox Sports. Now DirecTV is about to drop their 4 or 5 AT&T channels that they're trying to get Sinclair to buy them. Now I don't know if people follow sports or not, but now DirecTV with AT&T are falling fast now because they just found out that AT&T was falsifying people that were supposed to be getting the service and they were not getting the services. So now that's the new thing, like Black Eye now. Now AT&T is trying to get away from DirecTV now. So they're trying to now dump DirecTV. And the first person they're looking at is Sinclair Broadcasting. That's who they're looking at right now as a potential buyer. So imagine if Sinclair Broadcasting gets DirecTV. Oh my God, it's just going to be something drastic right now. So, and then we also had the Tribune from a different city just went out and bought WGN Chicago. They just bought them out. So after all this year, Chicago's #1 station is going to be no more after next year, after the FCC approves this. So it's going to be interesting how they'll handle this channel going forward if they're going to keep wrestling in their channel. So yeah, so right now people are just buying everything nowadays. But with that said, we'll move on to my favorite company, the topic I've been waiting for, Impact Wrestling. And as we know, Impact Wrestling went out and bought their own channel at Access TV. We know that now after Bound for Glory, the first week after that, they're going to start giving Impact on Access TV. We still don't know the night, and I'm hoping it's not on a Friday night or Saturday, and just put it during the week. I know a lot of people on Twitter are hoping it's Tuesday nights. I don't know, but as we know, New Japan Wrestling contract is up in January with that, so we don't know what's going to happen with New Japan. We know people were saying, well, what's going to happen to WOW? We know that they approved the part 2 of season 2, and we even saw some of the guys there, Callis and Matthews and Don. What was the fat dude's name?
Scott D'Amore.
Yeah, Scott D'Amore were there in LA, viewing and filming the stuff. And you mentioned earlier all the new women that are coming in, and how can they bring these ladies and this show into Impact Wrestling in 2020. I mean, what do you think will happen now with Mr. Larkin going forward with Access now moving to, Impact now moving to Access TV? I mean, what do you think? A forecast coming up for the other year, beginning of 2020.
I think they've established themselves as like a wrestling brand. So Saturday, I would keep WoW and New Japan on there. And if I was Impact, if you guys remember the Spike days, I would just put them on Thursdays at like 8 to 10, 9 to 11. I'd have them go back to Thursdays.
Isn't there already a show on Thursday nights or no?
No, most of that channel is mostly music and stuff. They were supposed to be WoW this week, but it got preempted.
Yes.
So the new episodes of WoW and New Japan are this week. But yeah, no, they originally, WoW and New Japan were on Fridays. Then they moved to Saturdays. And now since Impact's there, if I was them, I'd put them on Thursday because they had, they did for a lot of people remember with Spike and just being Impact fans, it was on Thursdays. I'd put them on Thursdays again.
So now if we look at the schedule, wrestling schedule now, so now we got Mondays is Raw. Tuesdays is what's on Tuesdays going to be now?
Well, since SmackDown's on Friday, there's really nothing on Tuesdays.
Tuesday, okay. So then Wednesdays is going to be Dynamite and NXT.
Yep.
And there's nothing on Thursdays? Wrestling shows on Thursdays?
No. So you have like a nice little gap from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You get Raw on Monday. You get nothing on Tuesday. Wednesday is NXT, NXT UK, and AEW, TNT, Dynamite. Thursday is nothing, and Friday is SmackDown.
Okay, so yeah, I they should go back to Thursdays then on Access TV, 8 o'clock, just like they used to, even 9. I prefer 8 to 10 will be perfect. 9 to 11, I'm good because my body will get used to it. As long as getting out of Fridays. And
well, they're still also going to be on Twitch, which helps for those that don't even get access.
Yeah, but right now, 45 million homes, 50 million homes in Access
50,
TV?
yeah.
Something like that. And Access is fundable. I mean, I got Spectrum on East Coast. I have it, so I'm good. And you could get it with Sling, and I'm pretty sure you get it with other services now too, like Roku and stuff like that. I believe you could get that too. So, for $20, you could get some extra channels on top of that. So I'm good with that, But going forward, do you think that Impact will? Because my belief is this: once the FCC fast tracks this, and I believe that this is a Impact going to Access, is Access like giving them a hand? Okay, we're going to put you here in October after Bound for Glory, but once FCC comes in and clears everything and it becomes Anthem's channel, I believe that it's going to be rebranded, because nobody, when you buy something and you own something new, you want it to go under your own name and umbrella. So I don't think it's going to be called Access TV once Anthem takes over. I mean, do you think they'll keep it the same way, rebranded, or?
I think they might keep it the same way. I remember I was reading the article with Ed Nordholm, but let's see what happens when it goes further. The interview where he's like, yeah, we're going to keep them on there. We want to continue to work with them. I mean, we're not looking to go after WoW or New Japan, so we shall see. But I think right now it'll still be under the same brand.
Okay. Yeah, so I was thinking that they'll switch over, to an Anthem name in the future, change the name of the channel to something else to fit whatever they bought. And then, if they're going to get New Japan, or if they're going to start putting in OVW, they have the partnership with Al Snow. They have the partnership with Destiny in Canada. They have the partnership with AAA. And I think maybe even Noah, because they're bringing that one guy to wrestle Elgin.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm thinking maybe, you can have a nice block on Saturdays. And even going forward, if they even get that studio show, they could have that show on a Saturday. A nice 1 hour studio show like they have live from Hollywood wrestling there back when they went to Cali last month.
Yeah, the Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
Yeah,
yep.
So that'd be kind of cool to do that on a Saturday. I would watch that on a Saturday on the days of the WTBS days, the Superstation.
Like the WCW Saturday night.
Yeah, Superstation. 6:05 to 8:05 p.m. Preempted 7:05 on the days that they show Atlanta Braves baseball. Garbage.
There you go.
They suck anyways. And the Braves. Ugh.
Hold on a second there, Mr. Atlanta Braves. I wanted to segue with you for something because you mentioned we're going to get Marufuji and Michael Elgin. We're also going to get the Rascals against Dr. Wagner Jr. and his partners. We're going to get Ken Shamrock and Moose and Callahan and Cage for the title. What do you think about the Bound for Glory card so far?
So far, so good. I'm just a little upset with the Elgin match. I mean, there's no and the Rascals match with Dr. Wagner. There's no intro. There's nothing that tells me, okay, this is the reason why this is happening.
All right, hold on. I'll stop right there. So with Elgin, he was putting on social media, and they've been building him a commentary like he's fought Omega, he's fought Okada, but he's never fought Naomichi Marufuji. So he's challenging him because he's never fought him, and we're going to get a first-time match. The Rascals, I have no idea.
It just makes no sense, though. That's the reason. It makes no sense whatsoever. Well, I'm going to challenge this one specific guy. It makes no sense to me. Out of everybody in the United States, all the different companies, we're going to go after the company that we haven't seen anybody in a year.
That's true. Well, the last time we saw Marufuji was when they were GFW in 2017.
Yeah,
man,
I was there because I took pictures with him and the Bone Soldier.
Ah, good old Taiji Ishimori, yes.
Yeah, Ishimori. And that was it. And now out of the blue, I want to challenge this guy. Okay, and then you have the Rascals having issues with Moose or somebody, and Elgin, but you're not building after. You're gonna have him wrestle against Wagner and some people of his choice. Mm-hmm. Why? Well, okay, so it's gonna be Wagner and his son, Wagner Jr. Maybe they can surprise us for once and bring LA Park. People will be dying to watch LA Park in an Impact Wrestling match.
Oh yeah, what I'm thinking is maybe one of like the AAA guys that they use, maybe like Tejano or somebody they'll bring in.
Tejano?
Yeah, Tejano.
With they already, I don't know, man. This is the two matches that just make no sense to me.
All right.
So far, it's just like,
Hold up here, Mr. Bound for Glory here. Yeah. What now? Since we haven't talked about this, you and I, what do you think about Ken Shamrock coming back to fight Moose?
Oh Lord.
Go ahead. It's all right. We already talked about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I think this is where not having some kind of star power and other guys coming in kind of hurts Moose, because Moose is, I mean, I'm not a big Moose fan, but I respect what he's done, and everybody that they put him against, is they either leave or something's going on. Morrison's not there. You could have him wrestle Killer Cross here and there now, or whatever's going on with him, and we're gonna touch pretty soon about that. So everybody who should be wrestling, they ain't there, and there's nobody else that's bigger than him, and we already got him, wrestle Edwards already. Can't be doing that same match every single pay-per-view. There's nobody else for him, so now you bring a 55-year-old guy from outside, which we still haven't even seen nothing of these matches from Vegas because we're still on the Mexico taping. Another reason why I hate tapings, and for some reason, they jump on these tapings quick to get this done before Bound for Glory. This tapings for Vegas should be started now or next week, but they already had this stuff done a week after they left Mexico.
I look at it like this with Ken Shamrock. Like, we haven't seen him wrestle in Impact since 2002. His last appearance for the company was 2004, and we really haven't seen Ken, like I said, wrestle ever since. We talked about his bouts with Kimbo Slice where he lost.
Yep.
But, we haven't seen much of Ken, but he says he did an interview with Chris Van Vliet, and he said he's feeling good. He wants to get back in there. Well, here's the thing. What would you rather see? If you had a choice, Jorge, gun to your head, would you rather have Ken Shamrock and Moose or Ken Shamrock and Brian Cage?
I wouldn't have Ken Shamrock, period. Keep him out of this. He got nothing to do with this. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is bringing another guy from outside, another elderly guy from outside to wrestle because there's nobody to wrestle Moose.
Well, he's going to win like he beat. Well, he beat Rob Van Dam, so I see him beating Ken Shamrock.
Exactly, and I'm fine with that. But we see that Shamrock is going to be here for a while because they even have him for the tapings in Windsor. But my issue is you're already having film stuff already coming out of him and Moose and Shamrock arguing outside, and we still haven't even hit the Vegas tapings yet, where all this supposedly happened.
I know we're gonna see him this week to see what happens, but yeah.
Don't they have one more week of Mexico yet, or no?
No, the LAX send-off, I believe, was the end of Mexico.
Yes. So now you're 2 weeks late because they'll be talking in social media. They already had like a little dust up here and there, like a fake fight, that everybody pulling them apart before anything happened in the actual ring.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So now they're going backwards. It's like, okay, like I've seen this, so now I can already see what's going to happen at the tapings now. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know, man.
But look at who they're also bringing in, dude. They just signed Johnny Swinger to a multi-year deal. You seen the Johnny Swinger stuff?
I'm actually trying to skip that, but yeah, I've seen it.
Well, what do you think about bringing in Johnny Swinger?
As long as he comes in as an enhancement product, I'm fine with it. But if they get this guy some victories and give him a belt, I'm going to be upset.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Also, I wanted to mention this. 2 other things before we get to other stuff. I had to ask you, because we were talking about the events. I did watch, Victory Road, and I did watch the Operation Override because my people were on there, Desi Dorada and Kyle Hawk.
Yes.
So what did you think about it, even though the attendance was meh? What did you think about the shows?
The show, once again, they are paying dividends with the shows. It's top-notch wrestling. The stuff is good. It's just whoever decided to go to Oklahoma, man, that was just bad. That crowd was horrendous. The Friday night crowd, that was just bad. Saturday was a little more lively because they were more vocal, and you could see the stage and people always were standing around the walkway thing. So and they were vocal. But the people from Friday night, man, that was just and your friend there, Desiree. No,
Desi Dorada, yep.
Desi Dorada. She looked good on Friday night in her tag team. She looked indecisive and more nervous on Saturday.
All right, so I watched both the matches with what was it, her and Kiara against Ty and Rosemary, right?
On Friday.
Yeah, it was Friday. Then she fought Kiara the next night. Yeah.
She looked very, very nervous on Saturday.
I gotta say with her, like, she's done Ring Warriors, she's done so much. But yeah, I'll be honest with you. I watched it, I'm like, it's good, but do you want to see another match with her and Kiara Hogan?
I would love to see her fighting her.
I think they should sign her, dude. I really think they should sign her. She's good.
Like give her another try and just tell her, just go in there and just relax, do your thing. Don't worry about it. She's big. I mean, I like her. She has a good look. She's tall. I mean, she's beautiful. So she'll definitely fit in there. So ain't no problem there.
What'd you think about the other half of Arrow Club, Hawk?
Ain't that her brother or something? Cousin, boyfriend, husband?
It's supposed to be her brother. Make America Native again. Yep, brother.
But in real life or just there?
I think just in the Arrow Club, like brothers, like bond, like family, like Native.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, I would love to see some American Indians come back into wrestling. I mean, I haven't seen American Indians since Tatanka.
Well, it's funny you mentioned because they make him like he's the son of Tatanka. And Tatanka was a part of Arrow Club for a brief time.
Okay. So are there more members or just them two?
So it was originally Desi, Hawk, and a gentleman by the name of Coyote. Coyote has retired, so now it's just Desi and Kyle Hawk. Tatanka would team with them on a show. Kid Cash teamed with them on the show. So, I mean, they were members of the Arrow Club family.
Okay, is Kid Cash even American Indian? If he's not, then he should not be teaming with them.
I know, but it was good to see Kid Cash.
It'd be kind of cool if Impact or somebody would pick both of them up and then have Tatanka be their manager.
Well, here's the thing.
That'd be kind of cool.
They were a spoof of the Bullet Club, obviously with the name Arrow Club, but then it just became like making America Native again. But,
really? Yeah. I
Yeah,
actually like the Arrow Club because it makes sense, Arrow Club because of the American Indians.
Yeah.
So the Arrow, I thought I didn't even know that was a spoof. I thought that was something real. So
it is real though, but it's a spoof of the name Bullet Club because he's like, you know what? If they can be the Bullet Club, we'll be the Arrow Club.
Yeah, that was kind of cool though, because they're both Indians. So yeah, American Indians. So yeah. Now, like I said, I haven't seen the American Indians since the days of Wahoo McDaniel, and then the Young Bloods. They're the early days, and then the last one that I ever seen was Tatanka.
Yes. Oh, by the way, dude, I forgot to mention, you actually did see Desi Dorada this week on this past week Impact, on Impact. A lot of Impact fans saw her. You know where she was, right?
I have no idea.
Did you even watch Impact?
I watched the one that I wanted to watch was the LAX send off.
Yeah, that was this week. Okay, so on this week, when you see them going to Melissa Santos's bachelorette party.
Oh Lord, she's part of the crew.
She was part of the crew when Joey Ryan came in as the cop.
So that's coming up. That's those shows that's the episodes that are coming up for Vegas.
Well, yeah. Well, that was actually on this week's Impact. Next week on Vegas, you'll probably see her as one of the bridesmaids for Melissa Santos.
Cool. Yeah. See, I didn't notice because she had no the face paint. So yeah. Plus she was clean. You know, wrestling. I can tell who the hell they are with their wardrobe on and shit like that. So.
Okay.
But anywho, and the last topic that I wanted to touch on is Mr. Killer Cross.
Yep.
Oh, please, can you bring us up to speed of what you saw today here?
Oh, God. Twitter? Well, everybody's going after him about him and Scarlett taking their trip to Thailand, and he put out the receipt, like, depending on the part of the year, it's cheap to go to Thailand, and I forgot what the exact amount was, but it was pretty cheap, and he was right. Everybody's just like, why are you keep talking about this? It's because an article came out, and the article was bullshit. It's just more drama, and he's just putting it out there like, you know what? Fuck this. You want to know what's coming on? Here it is. So, yeah, it's just everybody's been attacking Killer Cross today on Twitter.
All I know is this. He signed a contract, honored the contract. Your wife or your girlfriend, she had a contract. She just, you put the laundry out there so everybody to know that she was unhappy and she was living with her mom or whatever was going on, blah, blah, blah. She got released. She didn't say one word. You're the one who keep putting your shit out there for people to know. You're there making, trying to bring all this attention. And the more you do that, the more they're going to go, you know something, let's just keep this idiot on thing. We don't, just keep paying him. Don't even use him. Just keep holding him on contract till his contract expires. Whenever it does, then let him go. By that time, everybody will forget who the hell he is because he's not wrestling anywhere big. They took him up from the show from AAA and Impact last Sunday. So that's just them saying, okay, you want to keep talking nonsense, this is what we're going to do. Now, is it petty? Hell yes, it's petty. But I'll be doing the same thing if I'm Impact Management. You want to keep talking, we're going to keep making your life miserable. As long as you're in this contract, we're going to keep holding you to it. No, you're not going to go here. No, you're not going to go there. Oh, you want to wrestle in front of 100 people? Go ahead and knock yourself out. But you're not going to hit the big stage and get some money because you keep talking. What happened with Eli Drake? He opened his big mouth. He wanted out. And then when they were going to sue him, or he was going to sue, that dude went quiet for 2 months. You didn't hear one peep from the dude. And everybody going, what happened to Eli Drake on social media? Nothing. And then out of the blue, boom, he got dropped. And now he went into NWA. You rarely hear that dude on social media now talking anything. Because he learned from what he, what's that saying? You reap what you sow.
You reap what you sow, yep.
So he reaped what he saw back then when this happened. And now Killer Cross is doing the same thing. I mean, I understand you want to voice your opinion, but there's a time to do it. Now you're going over. And then you had the little thing that he was challenging Batista on some blood sport thing.
Yeah, so he does Bloodsport, his MMA thing, which is cool with Josh Barnett. But yeah, he's like, Batista, come to Bloodsport and let's fight because he loves him. So yeah, everybody was getting behind him challenging Batista.
Like, Batista is a movie star wrestling for WWE. What the hell is he going to be coming down to Bloodsport for? With
the Bloodsport promotion, it's a mix of MMA and wrestling, and I think Batista dabbled maybe a little in MMA, but I'm just like, geez. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see good old Dave Batista with his millions wanting to go down to Bloodsport.
I don't think so. I doubt that he won't even nah, it's okay, bro. Plus, Uncle Vince won't let me go anyway.
He probably just looked at the tweet and like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah. He's like, oh, look at this boy-headed guy challenging me. Anyways, Mr. Larkin, any shout-outs you want to give? Please plug everything that you have, your merchandise. If you have merchandise, plug everything, brother.
Well, I have to apologize to our listeners because if you heard some chopping noise, I'm not going to lie, I'm eating some chicken while we're doing this show.
Yeah, for the last 45 minutes, I've been getting hungry.
All right. So if you guys want to check me out, it's at SMShow1 or at MCL92 on the Twitter machine, www.stephenmikeshow.com, SoundCloud MC Larkin92. Check out LFC at LFC MMA on Instagram and Lingerie FC on Twitter. I am the host of the podcast Beauty, Strength, and Dominance, where we pretty much analyze, dissect, and decipher LFC, and we talk about the 3 key elements that make women the work of art that they are: beauty, strength, and dominance. We're already up to 16 episodes. It's on Stitcher, SoundCloud, Anchor, Pocket Cast, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast needs. Check it out. You can hear me on the Bodega, and I'm just a podcast machine, so check me out.
Yeah, any other shows you're in, by any chance?
You can check out, Max Wrestling UK. You can check me out on Max Wrestling UK with me and my 2 British homies, Daz and The Butcher. That's at Max Wrestling UK on the Twitter machine. You can check me out just everywhere. I do the Heelcast. I do this. I'm everywhere, man. Just type in my name. You'll see me.
Well, that was actually a joke of me asking you for more, but yeah.
Well, yeah, man. I was giving it to you.
The man's everywhere. And don't forget to follow us, guys. Bodega Wrestling on Twitter. Don't forget to click subscribe on the YouTube channel at the Bodega Wrestling. We do this because we love it. Don't forget that. Let's go to Twitter. Behave, folks. Behave. It's all wrestling. We are all fans. So for myself, Mr. Michael Larkin, a.k.a. Bob Custis, we will see you next week. And don't forget, guys, just stay happy, watch wrestling, and enjoy the shows. Mr. Larkin, what's our outro for this week?
Our outro is much love, much respect, protect your neck.
Hey, that's the Wu-Tang, right?
Yes, it is.
Wu-Tang, 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 and we out.